Hey YouTube, my name is Nex and I'm going to start recording videos and putting them on YouTube for your entertainment. Now, I'm going to start a couple of Let's Play series for my first set of videos, and one of them is going to be Crusader Kings 2, the Old Gods expansion pack, which recently came out actually. The other two I haven't quite decided on yet, but I'm thinking of a Total War game. Maybe a Civ game, but we'll probably throw something different genre in there to spice things up a little bit. Yeah, so let's get straight into this one. This is the Old Gods expansion, which came out a month ago, I think, about that. And essentially it adds a whole bunch of Norse lords, Norse rulers in Scandinavia, and a whole bunch of new things that they can do, you know, coastal raids. They've also got these new rivers that only Norse players can go into and then raid inside provinces of mainland Europe. There's also, you know, new caste system, and a whole bunch of other things. Of course, the date also pretty other big factor is it starts in 867 instead of, I think, 1050. I'm gonna get started with a Norse faction, and I've been looking around at the different ones, and I don't know how keen I am on actually playing in Scandinavia, because that looks like it's going to get very messy very quickly, especially with the new war reasons system that they've put into it. So I'm going to go with Jorvik in the British Isles, which I'm assuming are a Norse faction who are invading, as they typically did to the British Isles. They did it a couple of times, or a few times, I'm sure. So yeah, we're going to start with King Halfdan Whiteshirt. Now, I haven't played this in a while, so I'm probably going to be a little bit rusty, but the game's pretty simple once you know what you're doing. So immediately, you start off with an army of almost 7,000, which is pretty good. And also, it looks like we're at war with three kingdoms, which is a bit of a pain, especially because it looks like I'm already losing and I haven't started yet. That's not too bad. I mean, we've got 7,000 men this particular time, is pretty solid to start with, so it's not a big deal. We've got a couple of problems up here, some claims to be pressed in Denmark and Scandinavia somewhere, I imagine. We can call in allies. Who can we call in? This guy. Who's he? Well, he doesn't like me. No, I'm an idiot. King. Oh, it's against him. Yeah. So, okay, so we can call him and he'll come over and help us out. Might be necessary, but I don't want him to take any land over here. I'm not sure if he can take any of my conquered land, sorry. Let's see, my ruler is unmarried, but I do have an heir anyway, so that's not a big deal. I don't particularly want to keep popping out kids, especially with my, let's see what my succession system is. Where do I check that? Laws, succession laws, there's nothing. Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, so agnatic, cognatic, gavelkind. So I'm assuming males and females inherit, or is it only males? Women can inherit, but only if there's no men. Also, this means that it will be split up if I have more than one son. Usually I switch it to primogeniture, or however you pronounce it, as soon as possible, because it means that I can avoid the problem of my lands being broken up as soon as my ruler dies, which can happen, you know, quite often in this game. So I'll probably hope that he keeps living for as long as possible. He's a bastard as well, so that'll probably mean he'll lose some opinion with most of the court, which could be a problem later on down the track, but that's not a problem that we have to deal with now. He's also unmarried, so I might do something about that. Okay, so we have to pick an ambition. So get married is usually the first one I go for because it's the easiest thing to do, but since I don't want to get my guy married, let's see, what's his problem? Huge martial, not the best state intrigue or learning, and state diplomacy. I think we'll crank up our diplomacy, so we'll set that as our desired target, and then we will have a look at our enemies. Now we might as well straight up start moving some armies. We'll select this guy, and then back here we'll select one of these guys, one of these guys, and one of these guys. And there is a massive 15,000 army force. That is huge. Who does that belong to? Anyway, let's get this clock started. Okay, so that's good. Alright, it looks like one of the armies has been defeated. That was a pretty big army, and if my allies, which I'm not even sure they're my allies because they're not highlighted in blue, didn't arrive, I would have lost that force. So good thing they showed up when they did. But now I'm kind of worried that, I'll just slow it down a little bit, I'm kind of worried that now they're going to take territory up here, and that means it's going to weaken my own position, because they are huge armies. Okay, so is he also Norse? Okay, so it looks like we've got a guy here who is now helping. Whoops, we're losing an army down here. No, that's not good. Yeah, so it looks like that there's a Norse ally up here who is also now at war with, I assume, all three as well. Although it could just be with Northumberland. And that's kind of a problem because I don't want to be in competition with any other Norse leaders at the moment. I just want to consolidate my position in England and avoid any future conflicts with Norse rulers, because that could be a serious problem. Particularly when they start trying to take over the north side of the British Isles. So over here it looks like we're definitely going to lose that army. Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to fuse my armies together to make one giant one, and we'll fight that way. So we'll just chase them down here. Yeah, so I mean there's obviously quite a few armies on that side. We're already winning, so I'm assuming that we've destroyed a lot of their armies already. Yeah, we almost wiped that one entirely out. That's the one thing I don't like about this game, is how much you have to chase down the enemy armies. But it does look like they're suffering attrition anyway. And we are definitely winning. I'm not quite sure what we're contesting for. What are we fighting for? It's just an invasion of Northumberland. Okay, so I assume we get any territory that we siege successfully. So that's why I really don't want the other guy to take it. Alright, let's move our forces back up. And depending on how many men, what's this? Okay, if my opinion ruled, the world would be a more chaotic but fun place. If I keep following the laws, the world would have less chaos but also less fun. No, we want just. Wait, just gives us stewardship and learning. And arbitrary generally makes people not like you, so that's no fun at all. Now, I would siege this if I had a few more men, but I don't want to risk losing half my army in this situation. Besides, the Northumberland army seem to have moved northwards anyway, chased down... Who is this anyway? King Ivar. Yeah, he likes me, so that's good. He has enough men to take that actually, so I should probably, after I'm done with this, I'll move down and start taking some of these smaller armies out. Now, my goal is probably going to take as much of Northumberland here as possible. I don't know if I can actually... let's see, where's your liege? I'll see if I can actually... No, I can't make peace with these guys. I can only make peace with Northumberland. which is this guy here. And he won't accept anyway. So I suppose we'll take as much of this as possible and build Jorvik up, and then later on move southward into whoever this is, Mercia, yeah. Take as much of that possible, and then eventually form the Kingdom of England and then the British Isles, or Britannia or Britannica or whatever it's called. Alright, and we're back. Sorry for all the jump cuts, everybody. Having some problems technically, so, you know, kind of have to expect it with the first Let's Play. Alright, so where were we? Now, we're going to start chasing down these small little armies because they're annoying the crap out of me, and because they're sort of threatening Jorvik a little bit. I could probably split off 1,000 men and just dump them in Jorvik. You know what, I think I might actually do that. But first, the Varangian Guard. Basilios, the great king of the Greeks, is short over the poor metal of his countrymen. Knowing well our skill in battle, he has decided to form a bodyguard consisting solely of Norse warriors. Those who serve him in the great city of Miklagard are generously rewarded, and even now our young men, eager for riches and adventure, have departed for Greece, picking up his banner. Very cool. I don't know how that affects me, but, you know. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is quickly just break off 1,000 men or so. How do I do that? New unit. Okay. So let's see. That's 500 and 600 or so. How much is that? Okay, that'll do. And I'll take the other 4,000 to... did that work? Yeah, that worked. I'll take the other 4,000 to, let's see, Lancaster. That way I'm not going to get those little annoying armies coming around sieging Jorvik, because it only has 250 men defending. Which kind of makes sense, it's a wooden castle. Alright, so up in the north, clearly Ivar is having his problems with the Northumberlands and vice versa. It looks like he's got a couple of their territories, and that's kind of worrying. I really don't want him taking half my land, especially since I need land to expand here quickly, because I imagine Mercia and Wessex are going to go pretty strong very quickly. So I'm tempted just to speed this up a little bit. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Might as well just keep doing that. Otherwise it's going to take way too long to siege all these territories. Now it says that I can press de jure ducal claims on Leicester. For who? Oh, I can do it. Okay. Okay, so I can take these as well. So can I go to war with you now? Nope. Okay, so after this war, it looks like if I am successful in taking a whole bunch of this, I'll probably be able to take these two very quickly, because I obviously own some sort of duchy. I assume it would be Jorvik, Leicester, and what's that, Lincoln? Yeah, Lincoln would be a whole duchy by itself, which is, I think it's called Ealdom in the Norse, when you're playing as a Norse. So up here, there's a 4,000 strong army. I might as well just take them. I mean, we should win. And I've got allies coming towards the sea and destroy them. And I'm tempted to try and mop up these little units, but I really don't want them going around, and it's just a pain in the ass having to micromanage all of that. So that worked out pretty well. So we go back to Lancaster, siege that. I mean, overall, we're doing very well. We're 50% in the green. So, I mean, you can't really hope for more than that. I expected that England would be able to put up a bigger fight than that, but I assume it's only because they're so broken up now that they've pretty much putting up no resistance whatsoever. And it looks like part of Wales is actually coming to war, as well as part of Ireland as well. But, you know, haven't really noticed any major resistance yet. Yeah, so the map is looking very cool compared to the 1050 or 1060 version. The one thing that I noticed was that you can't actually move forward year by year or month by month as in the original game, and I think this was because that it was too difficult to get all the little changes per month for every single country. So I think they just set it as one date, and you either chose that or you chose the normal game, which is not a big deal. It's only a $15 expansion pack, so you know. But I mean, if you enjoy playing as a very warlord sort of faction, definitely give the Old Gods a try, because so far it looks like they're going to be a very war orientated faction, especially with this new system where you don't actually have to have you know, you don't have to develop a casus belli to invade another country, which means, well, in the original game, if you wanted to invade anybody, you had to have a reason to do it. You couldn't just say, oh, I want your land, so I'm going to invade you. You had to, you know, you had to use your diplomats, which I actually forgot all about, and then you would have to, you know, falsify a claim on a specific county, and then you go to war over that one county, and you do that over and over and over until you took over the whole country. So, you know, it was just a pain to do, and it wasn't really fun. So with this, I think you can actually just click on anybody and declare war. Well, I see I can do it now. If only I didn't have any armies raised. So, you know, that shows you that it's if you want to you know, take over a lot of space quickly, play as a Norse faction. Now, this guy says he's better at being a steward than my guy. Who's my steward? He's 8 and he is 11. Go for it. Now, actually, that's reminded me, I've really got to organize my council a bit. So my chancellor, who's going to be looking after all the diplomatic issues of my country, he's going to do for me improve diplomatic relations with my Norse friend up in the British Isles. Now my marshal is going to suppress revolts in, well, I don't know if that's actually a problem, so probably I'll get him to train troops in Jorvik. My steward will collect taxes, oversee construction or research economic tech. Money doesn't seem to be a huge issue, but we'll make him collect taxes anyway. My spy master can scheme in Jorvik, and my seer can let's see, research cultural tech. Sure, why not? Now we've got a couple of smaller armies annoying and trying to take back provinces I've already sieged, which is just a pain in the ass, so I'm going to chase them down if they... actually, I don't think they're going to come back. So we'll just keep taking over, what's this, Cumberland, and push up north and try and take Northumberland. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the capital now, because I'm really worried about whatever Ivan or Ivar's going to do, and I really don't want him having a strong capital province, so I'm going to take that, and then if I have time, take Cumberland or probably Durham first, actually. But so far this war's going very, very well, which should mean that I've got a strong foothold in the British Isles to mount any future attacks against, you know, Wessex or Mercia. Now, if there's any, I'm just going to check if there's any factions. There's no factions forming, so nobody wants to take over my country. My religion is the Norse faith. Intrigue. There's a couple of new things you can do. The main one, I think, is hold a great blot, where you sacrifice a whole bunch of your prisoners to the Norse gods, and you gain a whole bunch of prestige. And prestige in this game, when you're playing as a Norseman, is actually very important, and so is piety sometimes. Actually, I should mention that if you're not at war as a Norse leader, you will actually lose prestige. And I mean, having a lot of prestige is always good, because people like you when you have a lot of prestige. You get you know, like bonuses. So, you know, having high prestige is always a good thing. But yeah, so that's the new system. That's another thing that they've added. Everything else looks similar except for this one, Commissioner Runestone, which I'm assuming is something similar. It's pretty expensive actually, 100 gold. Yeah, so my technology, I like this new system that they did. I had a look before when I just quickly opened the game to see all the differences that they'd done. And I like this. Now it's like a simplified version. Before it was very, very complicated and I had no idea what I was doing. But now it looks pretty straightforward. As soon as you fill up one of these gold bars, or sorry, you get technology points, and then once you've got enough, you can click on this and it will fill up a gold bar, which means you've gained another level in this particular like area. For example, Noble Customs, and then you get the bonuses that come with that particular level. So if I get to level 1, it'll be a +2 feudal vassal opinion, so that'll mean that my my vassals will like me more, they'll give me more gold, stuff like that. My laws aren't really I can't really do anything. For some reason, Norse don't have very many succession laws. It looks like they've stuck with Gavelkind, which is a pain in the ass, because one of the main new features of being Norse is that you can have concubines, which means you have a lot of kids. And having a lot of kids means a lot of sons, which means a lot of your land gets broken up when you die. So, I mean, I'm considering swapping over to Catholic, well, Christianity as soon as possible, so that I don't have that problem. But I don't know how that's gonna, because that'll slow down my growth rate. That's what I'm worried about. But, you know, we'll see what happens. So yeah, let's get back into it. Now, where's my army? Up here. Okay. You know, we're gonna just rush these. I have the men to do it, and I'm losing quite a few, but it's kind of worth it. I really don't want Ivar to take over too much of Northumberland, because that'll just throw me out of balance. And these sieges seem to be going down fairly easily anyway. Depends on Cumberland, actually. They could be a problem. But I'm kind of worried that if I take Cumberland now, Ivar will take Durham, which could be a problem, because that would mean he would have like a province right next to my main province and inside a ring of my own. It would just be a mess, and it would probably destroy our relations, because I would have claims on them and we'd hate each other over it. So I'm really hoping that he won't go there. If he does, I don't know, I suppose I'll go to war with him over it, because he's already taken the northern part of Northumberland, and it does look like this guy's gonna give up pretty soon. As soon as this hits 100, he's 100%, he has to give it up. But, you know, they can get as high as like 99. He'll be like, no, I'm not going to do it, because, you know, I'm an asshole and I'm just going to be a dick. And that can just be a pain in the ass sometimes, because you just can't find where their remaining unit or their remaining land is. So, you know, but usually when it gets to about 70-80%, they will actually give in. And if it's like 50% green, they will probably sue for a white piece, which means that you just end the war in the same, like, nobody wins anything, nobody loses anything. But as a Norse guy, if you do that too often, or you surrender, I think you actually lose a whole bunch of prestige for it. So, you know, not a good idea. Alright, so my liege, my mission to Sudreyar has so far been a success. During my visit to the court of King Ivar the Boneless, I seem to have managed, this guy, I have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are, and he sends his regards. Good job. Hopefully that means he's not going to destroy me after this war is over. This looks good. As you're out hunting one afternoon, a bearded elder approaches, donning a simple traveller's cloak and a wide-brimmed hat that conceals his other eye. He greets you in courtesy, requests a horn of mead, and then informs you that just yonder a well lies forgotten, filled with gold. He wanders off, chuckling as he goes, leaving you struck with the familiarity of his presence. Okay, so we can inform the men of the Wanderer and none other than Odin, so you get the Zealous trait. You ignore your men's insistence that the stranger was the Allfather, whoever that is. I'm assuming that's some sort of, I don't know, Zeus equivalent to the Norse? I'm not sure. Or you scold your men for believing in gods, and you get cynical. Now, I usually used to get cynical all the time because of the intrigue, but the piety can be a problem, I think, if you're Norse, and I'm already losing it because I'm lustful. So that's not good. In that case, we will take Zealous. And I think we gain gold and whatever. I didn't read that. I should have read that. So we can still call in allies, which I'm not going to do because I can't be bothered. I can press my claims here. My heirs are married, rulers are married, and okay, nothing new. This seems to be going fairly well. It's taking its time. Siege is never fun. I mean, especially when you have to like take over an entire country. Oh, okay, actually, I didn't realize, but the war seems to have ended between Northumberland and Ivar, which means that he's taken the northern provinces, and which means I also don't have to worry about him taking these two provinces. So, you know, I'm happy about that. And he's actually... okay, hang on, let me just move some men up here. Because apparently he can actually siege this province with only 190 men. So, you know, whatever. I mean, it's leaving Jorvik undefended, but, you know, if I have to, I'll just move my men back down. He's moving up for a fight anyway. I've got the defense because usually you get a bonus because I'm on a river and I'm defending, which would mean he'd have to attack over the river and I get the bonus for it. So terrain is important, but for some reason it didn't come into play there, which is just unusual. I don't know. If it was me attacking, I'd get these massive attack, you know, whatever they're called, disadvantages, and I'd lose, and, you know, the game hates me. Okay, so Godi Haldimar of St. Peter's claims that he would be a better seer than Ragnar, and petitions that he should be given the title of seer. Okay, so what's a seer in Norse lands? Seer is, okay, seer is your, like, bishop. He's 6, so he's pretty shit anyway. Well, he's 8, he's also shit, but, you know, he's a little bit less shit. Okay, so he is my new seer. Okay. And I've noticed that everyone seems to really not like me. Oh, nobody really hates me, but... okay, it's really because it's a short reign. And I'm cruel, apparently. And lustful. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so we've taken these provinces. We'll move down. Oh, I'll move him up. It's just these little guys here that are just pissing me off. I should probably be able to catch him, actually. When's he arriving? 30. Nope. Apparently not. Okay, what's this? As the enemy draws near during the battle, an uncontrollable rage begins to swell within you. You furiously bite down on the edges of your shield in an attempt to devour it. Trembling with anger, you raise your great axe and charge howling into the enemy ranks. Many of the cowards attempt to flee at the mere sight of you, but your axe has no mercy to spare for them. That's very cool. Okay, so I get the Berserker trait, which means I lose diplomacy, which is horrible because my diplomacy is already shit. But I do gain more martial, which I really don't need. Okay, fine. Whatever. Oh, look at that. That's ridiculous. I don't need that. Although that reminds me, I can set my... oh man, that's a big army. I can set my ruler as... nope, not yet. I can change the general of my army and who commands which flank, so I've got a bit more of an advantage during major conflicts. And, you know, we decimated that army just then. We've got 100% war score, but I'm not going to end it until I've taken this province here, and then we can officially end it and have this entire province being Jorvik. Okay, so Ivar, this guy, is now calling me to war against Swithraid of Dunbarian Peasant Result. Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, if I say no, I lose 100 prestige. I mean, I don't even have to fight the peasants. You can just enter the war and then just sit there and do nothing. They don't actually, you know, they can't tell you whether or not you've actually inputted into the war or not. So if it's overseas, just say yes anyway, even if it's like a massive succession war or whatever, because it's not expected that you'll actually sail over there with ships and help them out. I mean, it's if you call an ally in from overseas, half the time, most of the time actually, they will come over and help you. But I mean, it's just too much hassle trying to organize all the ships and stuff like that. So plus you get the sometimes I think you get prestige, and especially if they win. So the peasant revolt was stamped out by Ivar. The boneless, I don't even know why he's called boneless. I don't know if that means he's cowardly or I don't know. Request that King Ivar the Boneless join us in the Sons of... I'm tempted to do it, but... I mean, he's definitely going to go for it. I just don't know if there's a need to. I mean, you might as well. Might solidify our relations and stop him from attacking me at some point. Plus, this siege is almost over, so... Now, actually, I forgot. Do I have to... I'm not sure if I have to actually completely take the entire province. See, these here are just where I've occupied it. If you re-siege and then re-siege so that you've taken out not only the castle, but also the church and the city, and you've sieged every one, you'll actually get... these lines won't be broken. They'll be straight lines, which means they're completely occupied. I mean, I don't really know what this is trying to achieve in a real life sense, but essentially it just means that it's harder for them to take them back. And in this case, I'm not sure whether or not I need to do that in order to take all these provinces. I don't think you have to, but I mean, once I'll offer in peace and then see what provinces they're going to give me for it. And actually, I'm just going to have a look down here in England. That's what's left of... Was that Mercia? Yeah, that was Mercia. So that just broke up into about 5 or 6 different duchies and counties. So I assume that they're having some pretty bad internal civil strife, which is good for me because I can actually go to war against these guys here, which is still... no, that's Leicester. So yeah, I see. I have to make peace first. So we'll quickly end this war, wherever my army is. Sue for peace, offer peace, and enforce demands. He's 100% going to say yes, and I get all occupied territory. Maybe I can take... I mean, I don't want to end the war if I can absolutely take more of this land. You know what, we'll just sue for peace for now and try and balance out the problems that we're going to have, because the more land we take now, the more problems that I'm going to have later. So we'll enforce demands, send, and that ended. So now all of this is Jorvik. So I think that was a pretty successful war. And we lost maybe 2,000 men in total. So, that was solid. But now the problem that I've just realized is that I have 14 provinces that I really shouldn't have. I should only have 3 maximum. So I'm going to have to go around and give a whole bunch of those away. Otherwise, people are going to hate me. And more than they already do. Now, let's see. Well, nobody seems to hate me for it at the moment, but it'll happen eventually. I think my it infects my vassals, I think. Nope, apparently not. Maybe it's just waiting to tick over. We'll see what happens in a short while. I don't want to just give everything away straight off, but I definitely want a strong core province that only I own, and then that way, if there's any civil problems, it's easy for me to fight any internal fights because I've got the strongest provinces in the country. Now, a couple of new ones popped up, I think. Title loss on succession. So I lose all of this for some reason to different people. Ragnar Halfdanson. Who are these people? Are they siblings? Yeah, I think I'm... okay, so yeah, I've had more sons somehow. Well, okay, well the problem is, once I die and my son inherits, he won't inherit all of this, my other sons will. So what I'll have to do is give these provinces off to other people in my realm, and that way only my son gets it, I think. I don't know, to be honest. Let's see what happens. I can create the Duchy of Northumberland, but I don't have enough money, I don't think. Nope. But essentially, I think it just creates this whole thing turns into a duchy, and then, I don't know, it gives me a casus belli. If anybody ever takes one of these provinces, I can take it back pretty easily. My demence is too big. I'm holding the wrong type of demon, or demence, however you pronounce it. I have no idea how this works. This happened in my other ordinary games, and I just kind of ignored it. I think it causes inefficient taxing, but I don't know how to stop this from coming up. So if anybody has any ideas on how to stop this, please tell me, because I would really like to know. And then you can press to ducal claim. So that was from before. Okay, so now we can actually go to war with him now, I think. Conquest of Leicester. Okay, so I can only do one at a time, which is a pain in the ass. And what's the difference? Okay, so I get some better bonuses if I conquest rather than do a de jure claim on them. So I don't know why. It doesn't really make sense. I just wish I could take over the whole thing at once. Not a big deal. Now I'm thinking of just disbanding these troops. All special event troops will be disbanded. I don't know what that means. I think I have... Okay, we're just going to leave them standing army, and if there's a problem and I need to go to war later, I'll just, just drop them down and then stand them back up again, because I have no idea what the special troops are, and I don't want to get rid of them in case they're really important. Okay, so far, now what we have to do is give off these provinces to people that probably aren't going to stab me in the back. So, now I don't know why I own 14. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless it's counting the churches and stuff like that, which makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my court and start making some people royal. So my Grimir, you've just won yourself a title. Let's see, grant landed title, county. I don't want to give him any counties, but we'll give them temples and cities. So you can have the Temple of Furness. You can also have the city of Preston. Let's see, what else? Who else is in my court? Arnie, you can have grant landed title. You can have the city of Penrith. And you can also have the Temple of Carlisle. And I'll even give you the city of Hartlepool. These guys would be so underqualified for this, but whatever. Alright, Sunny Store. I mean, he hates me for some reason. Short reign, Liege is cruel, kind versus cruel. Yeah, whatever. I'll just give you some land, that'll make you happy. Temple, you can also have, the Temple of Lindisfarne, and you can have the City of Newcastle. Man, I am one awesome ruler. Ragnar Vitzwerk. You can have... Oh, no, wait. He's blood relative. Ooh. How many do I still hold? Okay, what I'm going to do is give these off to my son. So where's my son? Grant landed title. You can... No. I can't. Okay. Let's see, court. I'll just start giving it to these guys then. Grant landed title. You can have Northumberland. I'm getting confused. Let's see, anybody who's not part of my blood relation. I don't want to give it to anybody who's my son or a cousin or whatever, because that means I think they get a claim on it. Due to like they're in line for the throne or whatever. So just to avoid all that sort of shit fest that usually happens, I'll just give it to people I'm not related to and who don't have any sons or don't have any real issues with me. I mean, this guy doesn't like me, but he doesn't hate me either, so he's probably not going to turn around and stab me in the back. You can have the County of Lancaster. Let's see. Nope, not you. He's my son, and Ubi. Stupid name. Grant landed title. You can have Westmoreland. Okay, so that's all of those 14 are now shrunk down to 3 out of 3, which means no more people hating me because I have too much land, not too many land. All right, so now that's done. All right, we'll just quickly look at this. My prisoner, Eagle Thief. Nope, you can rot in your cell. We can probably sacrifice her later. And on that note, I think we're going to pack it up for this episode. So this was my first episode of my Crusader Kings Let's Play series. First in hopefully a long set of series. I'll try and see if I can get any other game series up soon. Probably Total War, but I haven't decided yet. If you like this video, please like it, and if you want to see any more of it, please subscribe. But you know, whatever, it's up to you. So I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one.